All right, everybody. Thank you so much for tuning into this video. Today, I just wanted to take some time to talk about God aspects. Specifically, I wanted to talk about the support aspects. And even more specifically, I wanted to talk about the raw aspect because I think it's really fun. And the reason I wanted to make a video on this specifically is because I'm a huge fan of buff slash healing characters. You may not think that because I play very aggressive when I play support. However, I am a huge fan of playing those enchanter or buff supports. Some of my favorite characters in any MOBA are like Soraka and League. Like, I just love healing my dudes, giving them some stims and letting them do their thing. And Raw, with his 3, does just that. It's a tick heal, and it provides both physical and magical protection. So that's really strong. In the background of this video is just some clips from some games that I played as raw support on PTS. You can see I got in with Haddix and he was playing Aladdin, and then in the second game he was playing like an enemy Cupid. But yeah, so these are just some games that I played there. This is a recording after the fact. Don't let that discourage you, because I just wanted to sit down and talk to you about why I think this is such a good change and why I think that this is an insanely good direction for the game to go. So starting off, I just want to say that I absolutely love all the aspects they've introduced so far. I do think that some are better than others. Raw's, I think, is one of those. I think that's significantly better than others. I think Cupid's support aspect isn't as strong as I would want it to be, but that's okay. I still think it's cool. And they can have more in the future, so we'll see. I mean, I'm still gonna play Cupid support with or without that aspect, so I think it's cool that they added it, no matter what. The other aspects that I think are really neat are, I love Cernoses, right? Just completely changing the way you play that character, takes away his ranged autos and makes him melee. I think that's awesome, right? Like, who wouldn't want cool stuff in the game like that? So I think that's one positive about the aspects. The second positive about the aspects is that they allow you to really play the game the way that you want to play it, right? Yeah, no, I just think it's phenomenal. I really do. It's a much better way to play the game, and it creates for a much better environment because it allows you to really have more control and more freedom in what you can do. It's also really cool for balance because now there's not just one set thing that you're going to go every game. Now you have options, right? Like, you could still play for instance, like a raw support if you really wanted to, but you also can play him with the aspect and make it a little bit better, or not even better, just different, right? Because it's different. And I really like the raw aspect because it allows the 3 to stick on your teammates. And I think that's super cool because honestly, that's been one of his biggest downsides of picking him support, because he has a strong heal ability and he did in SMITE 1 as well. But the problem is it's such a small radius and it stays in one place. And the way team fights happen in SMITE is they move around, right? You're constantly moving around the map, including a team fight. When you're in the middle of a fight, you're not stationary to one part of the map. Oftentimes the fight will start in mid and end near like the Gold Fury pit, or it'll start in the Gold Fury pit and end in mid lane or something like that. Having that ability be able to stick to yourself or your teammates is super cool, and it just allows you to do some really fun things. And not only that, but they also gave you the ability to make his ultimate heal now, which is just super interesting, right? It adds a whole extra layer of depth to the character that just wasn't there before, and it's going to really make playing characters so much more fun, because not only in support but also in the other roles, right? You have just different ways of playing a character in a similar role. Like for instance, on her, you're still playing him in the same role. He's still ADC, but it's just a different way to play the character. One of them isn't necessarily better. I mean, although right now it is, the aspect is just really strong, but in the future, both ways are going to be equally good. It's just going to be, how do you prefer to play the character? And that's why you'd want to go one or the other. I think aspects are a phenomenal change. I think they are truly what's going to make SMITE 2 feel like a true successor to SMITE, but also I think this could really help elevate SMITE to be a better MOBA, right? It's seen a lot more professionally, like League of Legends or Dota. Because honestly, before, I was always a believer that SMITE could honestly be one of those top 3 MOBAs, or top 2 MOBAs, because it is top 3 technically, but just because of how good the mechanics in SMITE are. And aspects just adds a whole extra layer of depth, like I said before, that really adds to that and really adds to the competitive experience. Because now you just have a whole extra layer of things you need to think about when you're going into a game. And another thing I love about the aspect system is it's not like League or some other MOBAs where you have to level up to unlock it and like unlock new aspects. You just get them. As soon as you get the character, you get the aspects. I think that's huge. Because a lot of other MOBAs have this problem where a lot of the content is level gated, and Smite doesn't have that. It's really just gated by what you can and want to do. And I love Smite a lot for that. So those are the positives that I think about the aspects. Now, I want to also talk about some negatives that I see for the aspects. And honestly, I don't. I really don't see any negatives to the system. I think this is just going to be a much more fun way to play this game. Truthfully, I think that everyone in time is going to love this system. I really don't understand not liking this system other than it just adds complication to the game. But honestly, the game needed more complication, right? One of the biggest issues that Smite 1 had was that a lot of abilities were getting dumbed down to make it easier for new players. But in reality, I think we needed to do the opposite. I think we needed to make characters a lot more complicated so that way more experienced players would have something to do. Because at the end of the day, Smite 1, I mean, how many people did we see hit max MMR, right? And ranked? Like, there's such a skill cap in that game. Whereas in Smite 2, I really feel like the skill ceiling is just non-existent. I think there's so much potential in Smite 2 that this aspect system brings out. And I just wanted to do this in a quick short video where I talk about it and, you know, show you some raw support in the background because he's super fun. I might be able to get like a full video of me playing raw support later on. It's really hard to record PTS on my PC because it's just so demanding and I don't have my new CPU yet, but hopefully that'll come in soon. But anyway, yeah, I just want to make this quick short video talking to you about aspects of why I think they're going to be cool, while also showing you how impactful they can be with some raw gameplay in the background. So thank you all so much for watching. I hope you have a great rest of your day and peace out.